corner. Remember that this now is more like a science corner where we read and write. I'm going to remind you that we are working on Unit 4, Lesson 3. We're going to be at the second heading here. This is Waves on a String Affect Objects' Shape and Position. It is on page 58. Make sure you have the PDF available so you can follow along or follow along as we read here. You have learned that waves on a string move in the same way as water waves. You have also learned that shaking your hand back and forth makes a wave on a string. Why does moving your hand create a wave? So I want you to think about that we've learned about waves on a string and water waves and that they move alike, and that if you shake your hand back and forth, it makes a wave on a string. Can you think about the reasoning? My idea is that if our hand's moving back and forth, there's a pull and a push, and it's in a repeated pattern that creates a wave. Waves on a string can be formed. Like water waves, waves on a string are caused by moving matter. When you shake a string, your hand moves side to side, which pulls the end of the string you're holding side to side. The motion of the end of the string then pulls the part of the string next to it, which makes this part of the string form a crest and a trough. This pattern repeats and spreads out during the entire string, forming a wave. Can you think of something else that creates a wave on a string? Ooh, look up at this picture. It might help you. A waving flag is one example because a flag is made up of small pieces of string that are woven together into fabric. Wind is moving matter that can cause a wave on a flag. When wind blows on the flag, it moves a small piece of the fabric. That piece pulls on the surrounding fabric, making it move. The fabric is pushed by the wind in a repeated pattern. This movement causes the flag to flap back and forth as a wave. Did you think of the flag? This picture might have helped you. Now let's move on to page 59. Waves on a string change an object's position. When a wave on a string touches an object, it can affect it in the same two ways that a water wave can. The motion of a wave on a string can change an object's position. Recall that if you tie a piece of yarn in the middle of a string and make a wave, the yarn does not travel along the string with the wave, but the wave does move the yarn side to side. When a wave travels along a string, it makes the string to move side to side. The string's motion then pulls the yarn side to side. Waves on a string change an object's shape. The motion of a wave on a string can also change an object's shape. Think about a trampoline. The surface of a trampoline is stretchy material that is held to a base with springs. When nothing is on the trampoline, it is at a rested position. When you jump on the trampoline, the surface of the trampoline moves up and down from its rested position, creating a wave. This motion makes the spring stretch. When you get off of the trampoline, its surface is back into its rest position and the springs are no longer stretched. So the wave can cause the motion of the trampoline surface stretching the springs and making them change shape. Here is a wave on a string object. Here is a little girl jumping on a trampoline. Remember, as she jumps, it will create a woo effect, but when she gets off, it will go back to the rested position and it will just be like this. Let's look at our writing activity. Our reading activity was to read the above pages 58 and 59, and our writing activity is to answer each question in complete sentences. Personally, for my own class, I would like them to answer in complete sentences and make sure they're logical and that each question is fully answered. Where do you see a wave in this image? Use the pattern in your answer. So you need to use the term pattern. What word are we going to use? Pattern. So we have to talk about where we see a wave in this picture. So if you need help on this question, you need to go back to page 58 to help you identify where the wave would be. The next question, what is causing the wave in this image? Use the terms wind and fabric in your answer. So what is causing the wave in this image? Again, if you need help on this question, please go back to page 58 into the second section where it addresses wind and fabric. Identify the pattern. In general, what causes waves on a string and how do they affect objects? Use the terms moving objects, location, and shape in your answer. So we're trying to identify the pattern of how waves are caused on a string and how they affect the objects. So you may want to use a trampoline, like on page 59. If you have any questions or concerns, please let your teacher know. And I'm going to remind you that for reading, we are only reading pages 58 and 59, and for our writing, we are completing the sentences on page 60. Have a great day!